Hello, my name is Lisa and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be working on the Margarete Miller week 34 challenge, but I just want to start with something that I thought you guys might all find interesting since a lot of you like the old stuff, old documents, things like that. But so one of the prompts for week 34 is someone else's handwriting. So I went on a hunt in my house, just me and my husband. So I started in a spare room to see if there's anything written by him. And there was nothing, so I went into my closet that I've got my old scrapbooking stuff. So I was going through, I found this, and I didn't bring it in here, but I found an old book that had scripture for every day, and then the other side had lines, and you write birthdays and things like that. And I was tempted to use that because, you know, I could tell it was my grandma's handwriting. The book was from 1903. I'm like, no, I cannot take this apart. So I grabbed, I got a bunch of boxes like this in there. I started looking. One was pictures of some relatives from 60s, so nothing old. And then I grabbed this one. Now, I've had this box probably since my grandfather died when they cleaned out the house, 2004, I think it was. So I've had it for 20 years, and I don't think I've ever looked through it. So I opened it up, and I started going through it, and I was like, holy cow, there's some stuff in here. And I'm not going to go through everything because there's quite a bit. I just want to show a few things that I found that were interesting. But this is an old cash receipt from a hospital from 1939. So these are, unfortunately, a lot of these are not scannable, I don't believe, but they're definitely ephemera. 75 cents for a prescription. And then same time, a lab bill. A complete blood count cost $3, and the blood culture was $3. They paid $6 for that medical. Sadly, I do know what this is for. This girl, Jane Brazino, was my grandfather's sister, and she passed away in 1939 from it was a blood disease. I'm not quite sure. I think so. I think there's death certificates in here. I was kind of looking through some of the stuff quickly, but I think this is when she started getting tested for being sick. They saved all the stuff, but an actual laboratory report for blood cultures from 1939. And these are sympathy cards, and they're still in the plastic. I can't open it. I don't want to open it, but I can read it names. I've got a school transfer grades for her from 1939, and then a note. And this would have been from her mom's, must have been a relative because her main name was Kusera, and I don't know who that is, which is interesting because I do the family tree, and this is intriguing because I didn't realize she had possibly a sister, and of course it is in the Bohemian Czech language, so I cannot read it, sadly. But yeah, so some relative I probably don't know about, and a transfer card from going probably grade school to high school. For in there, I think this is a note from another handwritten note. Condolences for the death. I think that's just a church bulletin. I think that's just an envelope. This has a bunch of the cards for the flowers that she got, but then a bunch of, I'm guessing, notices, obituary notices, but in the foreign language in here. I thought there was something else in here. Yeah, maybe not. And then I got a telegraph from Beverly Hills from some people, relatives that lived out there. But it's interesting because it's not typed on here, but it's the paper that's stuck on there. Again, 1939. And it doubly interesting, and I don't know, it's something drew me to this box. It's hard to say, but I don't know if I have it somewhere in here. August 19th, 1939 is when she was laid to rest, I believe. Somewhere in here I have it. The funeral was, and today is August 19th. So bizarre, and I said I gotta remember to call today's my dad's 82nd birthday. He was born in 42, so I wasn't born yet, but how interesting it was that I found this today, August 19th, looking for just handwriting from people, sympathy cards. This is from 58. I think this is from my great-grandma's book. This is her daughter, my great-grandma. This was my mom's junior high graduation exercise she saved, and now they've got receipts in here with The we all know what that is, the carbon paper that's still in here because they did a cashier's check. This was back in 1984. I think that's a receipt for a dress from when my great-grandma died in 84. They did that. This, I believe, was, and I'm not going to open it, I think that was, yeah, this was a will, because it's from a lawyer, that they sent for a relative. Another commencement speech, or commencement from 1952. It's embossed from people. Yeah, sort of certificate of death. This was my grandfather's other brother who died. Appears, and I don't think anyone knew it. I just found out he appears he had stomach cancer when he was a baby. He died when he was like 4 years old, but it looks like of pneumonia in 47. So yeah, so got that in there. I'm like, this was just like a treasure trove. Another certified copy as the death certificate, but I thought it was interesting to have these black pages, which were, I guess, a photocopy of a will and testament for somebody that they have in there. That was interesting. Oh, this is a baptism record of, in 1925, that little girl who died, that was her baptism record. And, okay, there we go. A notification for birth for that same little girl. And there's also, this one's really old. This one is from 1896. This is my great-grandma, the mom of the little girl who passed away. Her father, so my great-great-grandfather, who came from Austria, October 26, 1896. This is his official copy because it's got the seal. Can't even see it anymore because it's faded, but the seal from his final certificate of naturalization. I'm like, how cool is that? Very cool. I love it. Yes. And another birth certificate for Jane, the little girl who died. Again, like the black copy, because that's how they had a copy, her birth certificate. And this was a accident report for my great-grandma. She must have been into a car accident when she was back in 1950. I'm talking about a broken arm and a cut lip and badly bruised. And yeah, I thought that was interesting. Oh, a deed to the crypt. You gotta have those for the cemetery. The mausoleums, I won't go through those. But it's interesting that they have receipt for $900. Like, okay, I don't think you could spend that much money for those anymore. And is this the one? I think this is the one here. Yeah, this is, again, black and white copy, but this is my great-great-grandfather. Appear to have bought a house, first mortgage, and it was an $800 loan for a first mortgage, and the value of the house was $2,500. That must have been the backside to that they paid $200, and then the balance was $450. Yeah. So that was, I thought, first mortgage, I thought that was quite interesting. So we had that in there. I mean, this was just like a treasure trove of interesting stuff. Again, a will. I don't know when this was dated. Somebody's last will and testament. Have a date? This was from 47. So not as old. And again, some more cemetery paying for $30 for a gravesite. That was the little girl's gravesite. Yep, she buried on August 19th, 1939. She was 14 years old, 4 months, and 3 days. So $30 for that. Cashier's check for paying for it. And I think just a receipt for photos photostats from 1941, front and back. That might have been for the mortgage. $1. That was interesting, so I got every single bit. So it's amazing what my grandma kept. So yeah, so these were just a treasure trove of things. So obviously I'm not gonna go into a lot of these because they were very, very close things to what I have. But yeah, I think I might have said, I think I might have found a couple relatives in here that I didn't know existed. So there was 2 other boxes in there. I stopped looking when I saw this one, so I'm gonna have to go take a look because I might have some other treasure troves. But I hope I didn't bore you with that. Like, it's very personal stuff, but I thought you'd find it interesting, the old documents that are out there. And like a lot of these, you might find in a garage sale. Somebody might be just getting rid of a box, and they don't know who these people were, but they still have old ephemera. But there you go. Okay, so back to the mission of the actual video, and it is week 34. So, all right, let me get these off of here, and we will explain what I found. First thing is a place. So I've got these two stickers, stamps that I have that are London, the Big Ben, and it says London on that, and it all ties together, you'll see. Something that makes a sound in a pattern. So I have this clock. Tick tock, because that makes a pattern. Tick tock, tick. When you actually hear a clock that ticks, makes a sound in a pattern. Portion of a blank form. I blew that down already in the back. I did cover up my address label. I don't know. This form is from the magazine that I've been gluing off of, and I just found it in there. You can tell I've had some stamps stamped off on it and stuff like that. So I'm part of a blank form. Someone else's handwriting, and I did take one of the envelopes out of that box. It was actually not the least oldest thing. It was from 1984. The photo, I think they said the receipt, I said for a dress from when my grandma passed away that was bought for her. This is my grandpa. So the receipt must have been sent to him because he bought the dress for his mom. So stamps were 20 cents back in 1984. Look at that. So I'm going to use part of that. Where it's someone else's handwriting. I'll probably cut that down a bit and just keep maybe that. We'll have to see. And something inspired by a fairy tale. So I have a picture of Peter Pan, and this is where it all gets tied together. The flying of Peter Pan inspired by the fairy tale. If you saw Peter Pan, Captain Hook gets chased by the crocodile with the tick-tock in it, swallowed the clock, and they flew over London. So I have got the places for London. Bonus random marks with a paint or pen. There was, that was on there randomly, and yeah, I just figured that would be good. I'm going to call these random marks with a paint or pen that are on there too. So I don't have a strong enough thing for that. Random marks from the stamping. That's what we're going to call for that. Okay, so this should be pretty straightforward to put together, I think. All right, I'm gonna cut this envelope's front off just for now, and then I'll see where I want to do the final cut. But I think I want to keep for sure. It's not so necessary about Fashions by Eve, keeping that. So I'm thinking I'm going to just put this part. Probably shouldn't have folded it that hard. Okay. Okay, so we'll put the sticker down there, have them flying. Sticker for London there. Okay, put that there. I don't want to cover the top of that, so maybe I'll have to put that up higher. Put that there. Put that there. Something like that should work. Okay. Keep that so in case I want to ever see what it was. Probably not the worst thing in the world to do, right? Yeah, I think I'll do that. That's not gonna fit. No, I don't want to cover that name up. Okay. So many folds on this envelope. I'm glad it's not too old or it's gonna totally destroy. Okay, that's much better. All right, let's go with that. This shouldn't be that difficult, right? I think it's because I'm hungry. I want some dinner. And I don't know what's for dinner. That is so poorly folded, but that'll be okay. All right, so I'm gonna glue this down. Okay. All right, I'm gonna glue that there. Yeah, so I was just wondering, do you have old ephemera that you've saved? Like I said, I don't think, I'm pretty, like I said, I've had that forever and really just, I never really went through it. That didn't even, I just kept it because I was doing the genealogy of the family, so they kind of gave me a lot of that kind of stuff just to be the keeper of that information, but I never really looked at it because it wasn't really anything that I thought would be part of me doing my genealogy, even though it appears there's a few things in there I should have looked for. And but I wasn't doing ephemera kind of things back when I got that box. I've only been doing a couple years, so like I said, I don't know what else treasure troves are in there. I know I have an old Bible for my grandma in there. I have her old yearbooks when she was in school back in the 30s, and which I don't think I ever do anything about taking apart or anything, but so if I put that down there, it's not gonna reopen again. Yeah, I can't do that. All right, we're cutting it off. No, we're not. Yes, we are. I don't have any tie to that envelope. Okay. All right, so and the only reason I picked 2 stickers for London was because, well, I like this one because it was blue, like the blue sky for the background, and the blue in the the form, and I picked this one because it said London. Not that that's not understood that that's what it is, but there we go. Oh, no, there we go. I also recently saw that they just reopened the Peter Pan in Disney, their their ride. They had refurbed it, so it kind of was another tie-in. When I was thinking about what fairy tale, I was like, oh yeah, Peter Pan, London, beautiful. I love when they all fall together like that, so I think it's done. All right, a place, so we got London, something that makes a sound in a pattern, tick-tock, tick-tock, a portion of the blank form back there, someone else's handwriting, have no idea who that is, some lady that probably worked at Fashions by Eve, maybe it was Eve herself. Actually, I do know my aunt, the one that I had dinner with, that's a story from a different video. Aunt that lives in Arizona, she was friends with Eve. And something inspired by a fairy tale, so I've got Peter Pan flying, and bonus is the random marks with paint or a pen, so I've got the random marks of the stamping, the ones hidden underneath there, and then the little random marks there. So beautiful, I love it. All right, let's get it put into the book. All right, okay. I have rounded the corners like normal. Whoops, you don't need to go in there. And ink the edges. I did go through and pulled out a few of the, I think 6 of the extra pages that were in here because the book was definitely getting full, and I think it's still going to be too full when all is said and done. Very gator mouthy. But I took the 6 pages out that I won't use for the book, just to start it being a little less gator mouthy. So cute, right? See, just huge. All right, well that is going to be it for today's video. So if you like the video, if you give it a thumbs up, that would be great. Again, I hope I didn't bore you with my ephemera, but I just thought I'd share because I know my husband would care less about that stuff. My mom, she probably would care. I'd show her. My sister might care about that. But yeah, I figured you would kind of appreciate where I was coming from, how excited I was to find some old stuff, especially that naturalization from the 1890s. That was very cool. Loved to see that. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for me today. And thanks so much for stopping by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.